Hi Leo Souls. So this is going to be a special new moon message for you all, where the focus is going to be in what kind of energetic themes and circumstances might be a part of this next weeks for you. As always, keep in mind that this is only general reading. Always take what feels right and with what does resonate with your own life experiences. If you would like to have a personal reading, just email me. The email is in the description box below. Or if you would like to donate and support my channel, you can also do that by following the PayPal link, which is also down below. So Leo, this new moon energy seems to bring a little bit of a turbulence into your life. This turbulence is an energy that seems to affect mostly the quality of your relationships or the harmony of your relationships. There's an energy of things breaking apart. So this could be, again, related to relationships that have served their purpose. Or this could be a period of time where you find that there's things that there's things in your life that are just breaking, and there's a need to accept here endings or things, not having a possibility of recovery from whatever this breaking energy is. That it's, for some of you, it's really difficult because I feel like there's an energy of the pieces being shattered, and this is a metaphor, of course, but you're trying to glue all of them together regardless. And the energy is that something else can be transformed from an energy of break. So it's like, just because something ends, it doesn't mean that it ends on its own. It ends the way it was being processed. So for those of you that this is about relationships, there's an old way of relating that perhaps, needs to really end for good or has ended. To give room to an existing or future relationship to be altered into a much more positive way, in terms of the dynamic presented there, in terms of the appreciation and the respect that mutually for some of you Leos has not been existing. So it's like some of you really have issues in relationships where there's lack of respect, lack of tolerance here. There's an energy of lack of compromise that is to change, where perhaps this ending of a way of being and relating is really closely associated with things not just being, black and white or my way or no way. Because some of you Leos either have this tendency, or you have dealt with partners that have kind of done this to you, being very almost like an energy of abuse of authority. So if you're moving into a period where your relationships are shaky, there's a need to be just analytical about this, more than hot-headed or too emotional, because it's going to get hectic if you explore this energy of change in a dramatic sense. So it's like, it's one of those times where it's better to not react, immediately. It's better to wait a little bit for things to cool down, so then you can properly, rationally think about such things and then make a decision that is for the best of you and all involved, obviously, if this involves other people. But there's also some of you Leos that you're looking for something here different, like something more exclusive in your life. This could be, again, in terms of a relationship, that offers you that sense of a commitment, of being exclusive to each other that maybe you haven't found yet. Or this could be a desire, a growing desire, you know, to stand out in a very unique way when it comes to your work. Some of you are very interested in having things in a way that expresses, you know, the image you have of yourself. So there's a lot of things that you want to create, that you want to manifest into your life that reflect you quite a lot and reflect your identity. And for those of you that are trying to launch something here, or you know, have an energy invested in what you have to offer, there's success ahead for you, but it might not be just yet, because these times for some of you Leos are very turbulent again, where things are just unpredictable and the energy is so up and down that in terms of timing, it might be better to wait until things get a little bit more stable and grounded in your life. There's an element of uprooting of something. So even if it's not related to your career, for example, but to a relationship problem, this can affect you so much and uproot you that ends up, you know, affecting other areas without, you know, having anything to do with it. Because again, you are the one creating your life, right? And you are the one in control of how things work in your life. And you need to be in an energy of balance to be able to produce, to be able to create, to relate, to invest, to discern, to decide, to choose. You need to be in that balance state, and something is going to probably affect that balance during the next weeks. For some of you, you know, arguments, the strategy you move into arguments, debates, conflicts, where there's a lot of opinions exchanged that can be different, you know, work on, again, the power of word, the power of knowledge, and to express that as respectfully as possible. Because raising, you know, the tone of voice, shouting, you know, trying to impose anything just by the power of voice again, is not going to help the situation. So don't do that, or don't allow anyone to also do that to you, because it can get a little bit heated. Discussions, debates, you know, there's a little bit of a fiery tone to communication as we move into the next weeks. For others of you Leos, you have someone really deep in your heart, but they might not know this. There's something about like almost like a secret crush or love here for someone that either you haven't declared or can't declare, or, you know, there's something here about you not telling, you know, someone how you truly feel. But for others, this is also representative. Again, you have a person very deeply seated in your heart, and that's not going to change. But the question in the next weeks, and that the new moon brings for some of you Leos, is that, is love enough or not to make things work? Because love on its own doesn't seem to bring magical solutions. Love is a choice. So, you know, there's a lot to move through this analysis, and that's why there was this call for some of you Leos to be more analytical in situations than emotional, because you need to evaluate, you know, how things are functioning, especially in the quality of all sorts of relationships in your life, but particularly those that can be quite shaky and difficult to get along. And those seem to be the relationships that are going through that seem to be exactly relationships with people you love the most. So that's why it's so important to be watchful, and again, to not lash out and then, you know, really hurt deep. hear someone you care about, because words, you can't we can apologize and we can be forgiven, but we can't ever take back what we have said. So just make an analysis during this time. Make an analysis before you have a reaction. That just seems to be here the strongest advice and the challenge as you move into the next weeks and the new moon energy on its own. So I hope this reading was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share it around to other Leos you might know, and that this message might make sense, of course. And happy new moon to you all.